You've been wondering why you're here, who I am, why I'm doing this to you. So guess. If you guess right, I'll tell you. By the old gods and the new, I swear. You win the game. If you can figure out who I am and why I'm torturing you, and I win the game if you beg me to cut off your finger. You think I'm some sort of a savage? If you think this has a happy ending, you haven't been paying attention. I win.
Welcome to this podcast.
Welcome back to the Same Shit, Different Day, the podcast.
Same
Chris,
shit, different day. What it do, baby?
my brother, I'm aggravated. Whew. I'm almost
Aggravated ain't the word.
I'm so aggravated. I'm so hot. I got so many things to say. I'm almost nervous to have to like in previous episodes. I wasn't this nervous, even though I feel I have the most compelling stuff to say today to some people out there in the sports world. What a weekend, huh?
I got no complaints to anybody. I'm going to man up and get straight to it. Tom Brady a GOAT, kid.
Listen, man, I'm glad you're here, but admit it. Like, I'm pretty sure I've said it on this podcast in the first 5 episodes. I'll have to try to go back and look, but I know I've said it in life before this happened. He was already the GOAT. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, he really was. And I get that, it seems to be that in life, especially nowadays, no one can ever like embrace the people of their time. They have to tear them down to some extent. So we
Right.
always have to find a reason why he's not the GOAT. Same thing with LeBron.
True.
Why not just enjoy it so that I can tell my kids one day that I got to see this guy play? Honestly, as a Giants fan, I've always said no bitterness towards him because we were able to win those Super Bowls. But my man he's unbelievable. This though, man, wow.
He put on a show this weekend. That Tampa Bay defense, they put on a licking, bro.
Ooh.
Mahomes was scrambling all over the place. I seen a meme today. It was the whole D against Mahomes.
Yikes!
Only him on the field. Holla at me.
What website was this?
He was playing by himself, man. He was playing by himself. It was nuts out there.
Was he playing with himself or by himself? I don't know. But all I do know is it goes unsaid that like winning a Super Bowl, in my opinion, is like probably the hardest of the championships in like the major 4 sports in America, right? Because like there's so much parity in the league. There's so many good teams that change. Like, yeah, you have your teams that stay pretty consistent, but you also have so many cases where a team can go from like a top 3 pick in the draft to the playoffs the next year,
Right.
Just with drafting the right quarterback in that top 3 or something.
Okay.
So I just think it's like I hear obviously the comparisons start, Jordan, Brady, and it's like 7-6, but Jordan never lost and Brady lost 3 times, but like 7 Super Bowls? Do you know how hard that is? Like, that's just like, no matter what the circumstances beyond that, which in themselves are crazy too, but no matter what the circumstances are, 7 Super Bowls?
Bro, it's nuts, man. Yeah, man. I've been talking a lot of crap on these podcasts about Brady, but he put a licking on me every week, man.
Yikes!
He beat the best quarterbacks, and I ain't got much else to say, man. I lost
like
a lot
a
of
roll
money this weekend.
Maybe like save obviously not Washington, but like everybody else. It might have been sort of a like a murderer's row of the greatest quarterbacks ever outside of him, and then maybe like Joe Montana, Peyton Manning, whatever. But like Breeze, Rodgers, and Mahomes.
That's a gauntlet, kid.
Oh my God! Can I drop a couple stats on you that I just when obviously looking into this stuff like a little deeper after and just like reading stories all day about it because I'm blown away too, honestly. Like 43 years old, right?
Yep.
Seems crazy, but this was his 21st season in the NFL. If you eliminate that season where he tore his ACL against Kansas City in like week 1,
Yeah.
he's played 20 seasons in the league and he's been in the Super Bowl 10 times. Like that doesn't even seem like that seems like if I came over your house and you were 21 years into your franchise and we looked back at your history, I'm like, bro, the Super Bowl 10 times.
Yeah,
you really think like that? Like, come on. It's crazy. And I remember from the first snap he took when Bledsoe got crushed on the sideline and he came into the game. He ends up winning in 2001, 2003, 2004, right? So he gets 3 done right away. And despite the fact that we like literally grew up through this man's entire career, I didn't even like really consider it until I looked back on it that so he goes, obviously, we considered this, right? He goes to the Super Bowl in 2007 and 2011 and obviously loses both of those. Ballin'! Shout to Jim Jones.
G-man, all day.
Then it takes him another 3 years to get back and actually win another Super Bowl. And then you look at that and you're like, wait a second. So he wins in 2004 and it takes him 10 years to actually win another one.
Yeah.
2014, that year, he was age 37. Including that season, he goes on to win 4 championships between 37 and 43 and goes 4-1 in those. 4-1 between 37 and 43.
Bro, that's crazy.
Isn't that nuts? Isn't that not nuts? Like, he had a 10-year gap in there where he's still always in, like, the AFC Championship, and you got to get through Brady to do anything. But, like,
right.
Yeah, and he went to 2 against the Giants, so it's hard to just, like, act like, oh, well, he didn't have this, like, 10-year discrepancy of being great. But
yeah, he was always there.
He was always there.
Yeah.
And he was always a couple plays away from being in that game if he wasn't in the game, you know?
Yep.
But, like, 10 years later, he finally gets another one, and it's number 4. And what's funny about that is it's, like, ironic because I felt like that's always been the benchmark in the NFL, at least my entire life. Montana has 4. Bradshaw has 4. Right? So that's always been like like if you could, the record in the NFL. So he goes and gets that at age 37, and you got to think to yourself, all right, well, like any year now, like the decline is coming.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm still waiting on it.
Wins 2 more Super Bowls with the Pats, which is crazy enough as it is right there. But that still doesn't end the story. No, my man, in the middle of a pandemic, leaves the organization he has played 20 years for. And at age 43, walks away with the Super Bowl MVP.
Holy shit!
In the first season.
You forgot to mention that he went and set up a fucking super squad down there.
Asshole.
Oh, let's relax. Because you know what? There's 2 pleas I'm no longer giving. So we started out nice with Tom Brady because, man, that man deserves it. I got to give it to him. I got to admit it, right? Like I kept saying, no matter what happens, I felt like he should retire at the end of this. I mean, how could you now, right? He's coming back. He's coming back. Like, I could see it. 2 excuses I will not accept in this are, 1, that, he built up this super team down there. Because let's not forget, okay? Antonio Brown was out of bounds for NFL teams.
Right.
Okay.
And
not like in a racist way where they are with Colin Kaepernick in some way, and they're like, you can't because of all the attention you'll bring. More so like, no, like we're worried this guy might have CTE and he might like drown his girlfriend in the pool outside.
Holy shit!
That's what we were worried about.
Right.
So he brings that guy down there. You forget he plays there sometimes. You forget he plays there. And I kind of feel like that's what Brady was trying to say to the Pats before. I think that's what ended them in some way. He brought Antonio Brown in there and they had to cut him, man. The dude was like,
well, no, yeah, they had their hands were tied.
They had to, but I think he was pissed. And I think he was like, no, let me, just like I did with Randy Moss back in the day, and just like we always do, just let me talk with him, and we all want to win. And that's true about AB too. He always did want to win. But once my man was drinking bleach outside by the parking lot, then you had to start worrying about him. I was waiting for the Stephon Marbury Vaseline face video.
Wow. Asshole.
All right, I was genuinely, all jokes aside, worried.
That's a leading video. It's killing nuts. Nice to see him score a touchdown. Crazy. Brady and Gronk connects for 2.
And that's another thing. Gronk just went and drank beers for 2 years. Okay, so
bro,
let's not say super team. This is not like come on. Is it a super team or is it what he's been asking that cocksucker Bill Belichick to do for 20 years? That's the second plea I will. Oh no, that's the one I'm coming for. Bill Belichick. Oh man. Wait, I get it. Wait. Let me get the excuse out up front. The Pats didn't have the talent this year. Newsflash.
I'm giving no excuses to the Pats.
The Pats haven't had the talent for a decade.
Yeah.
That's always been the thing, right? Right? No, not anymore, cocksuckers. It's time for the truth. Time for the truth. This schmuck shows up every week looking like a homeless man on the sideline with his hoodie, and somehow that just makes him the messiah of football that God has sent down to us to teach us something because he's just too intelligent to answer any questions or act like a civilized human being.
Very true.
Well, let's get real. He was a coach before Brady, and now we finally, 20 years later, have gotten to see him be a coach after Brady. 249 wins and 75 losses with Brady under center for Bill Belichick. 24 and 27 without him.
Give me that stat. What does it say?
He's garbage. 24 and 27 without him.
The numbers speak for themselves.
He was under 500 in Cleveland before he went to the Jets for one day and quit on them.
Yeah.
Because Bill Parcells was mad at him or some shit. And then, goes to the Pats and lucks out of his ass. Don't get me wrong. All right, maybe I'm going a little hard. He's a great coach in a sense of what a coach is. But I've always tried to say a coach's best attribute is to stay the fuck out of the way. And when you he's acting like, oh, he's staying out of the way by answering every question. Next question. But no, he's not. He's actually creating a story.
Yeah.
And all he should be saying is, man, I am grateful every day for the man under center. That's the only thing he should be ever saying. And instead, there was this stupid narrative built up as if, who was it that led this success?
Right.
Over.
I agree. Numbers speak for themselves, bro.
Bill Belichick, fuck the beer, hold this dick.
Yikes!
Boom. Damn.
Brady had one thing left to prove as a 43-year-old man. And that was, me here all these years, what could he have really done?
Point proven.
Point
Stamped.
proven.
Yeah.
That's it. It's over. How about one last thing? This is Michael Jordan going to the Wizards and winning an NBA championship in his first year.
Yeah. Great comparison.
Another conversation that's over. This man
Great
is the
comparison.
GOAT of sports. He's the GOAT of sports.
I like that right there. Anyway. Yeah, man. Rough Super Bowl. Tampa Bay downs the Chiefs 31-9. Defense came up big.
Yeah. What does that say about the Jets again with Todd Bowles, huh?
Yo, another point, bro. He held the Chiefs to 3 field goals. That man, Todd Bowles. What?
That's what happens when you
They
go to the Jets.
They fired him to hire Adam Gase, bro.
Yeah, that was a good move. You know what? I don't know, man. Good for Brady. He's the GOAT. Bill Belichick, shut the fuck up. 10 trips to the Super Bowl in 20 years. He won 7 times. It's unreal.
Yeah.
Nothing else to be said. We also can't really even discuss, well, we can, but there's nothing to really tally up in terms of our picks for the game. We both had the Chiefs, and I had Tyreek Hill as the MVP, and you had Pat Mahomes. So losers all around.
Double zeros, baby.
We can just move on from that.
Hold on. Before we move on, did you peep the whole when Winfield threw the little chuck the deuce at Tyreek Hill? Did you
Yeah.
understand that from the week before, that a couple weeks before? Did you
I
remember
mean,
that?
honestly, no. I saw it on
No?
Instagram and was like, and then, but well, when I saw it on Instagram and
Yeah.
they showed the picture of it, then I do remember when Tyreek Hill did the peace sign. But I think that was a while back, though. It was right.
Yeah,
During
it
the
was
season?
a few weeks ago. Freaking, hey, yo, revenge is fucking sweet, bro.
Yeah, it is.
Revenge is sweet.
Yeah, that's
And
gotta burn, right?
oh, he's got to think
Ugh.
about that all off season, baby.
Yo, did my man have any like what happened to remember that beef that he had with the guy who said he was faster than him? Did anything happen with that? Did the other guy get any burn at all? Did he get any catches? I don't think so. Not that I heard
Who
of.
who we talking about?
What's his name? What's the guy you were calling? What were you calling him that day you were ranting? Little Stewie? Little Scotty?
Little Scotty. Brady tried to hit him with a screen pass like one of the first couple drives, and I didn't see him for the rest of the night.
Yo, Brady was on some shit, man. He was on some shit, man. Ask Tyron Matthew.
Oh man, how about
All my
that?
man said was that is something I have never heard from Tom Brady before, and I'll just leave it at that. I was like,
Yeah,
oh
bro.
shit, okay.
Yeah, I'd love to know what he said, but they won't
So-
release that.
No way. All right, enough. I hate football. I hate the referees. I don't even want to talk about them. I'll just say I hate them.
You see, we didn't even bring that up. We could talk about that for an
yeah.
hour.
Oh, forget it. We could do a whole separate podcast on that.
Yeah, whatever.
Let's just roll on because there's more misery to come.
Let's bring it.
UFC Fight Night recap. Misery, I guess, only on one of our sides because my man over here did pretty well, and I have to say, if people are only have heard the podcast and don't know you personally, I am looking like quite an idiot for calling you the Maloiks all the time when I am getting beat up. Forget it. It's unbelievable, and my man is beginning to kick my ass. But 4-0 on his UFC picks this week. Shout out, give him a round of applause. Including his underdog of the week, Beneil Dariush, the scumbag. That was a good fight. That was a good fight,
man. You can't take nothing away from neither one of those guys.
It was kind of exactly what I thought, other than I thought Fajeda would get a little more of the advantage and win the fight. I went with him, but I always thought it would be a close fight. I mean, you know.
Yeah, it kind of looked like Fajeda was he not I don't want to say he was holding back, but he was playing his game, but for some reason, bro, Beneil looked extra good, bro.
Look, man, you got two guys on a long winning streak. I mean, in the UFC, especially for two guys who aren't like fighting for a title, and your name's not like Tony Ferguson, like a 5 and a 6 fight win streak coming into a fight against each other is rare because usually the UFC doesn't even want to like knock one of those guys off. They'd like to keep two contenders. But I mean, I'm just not to be disrespectful, but you know, I'm taking it to the next level. I just don't think either of these fighters are really pushing the needle, so they don't really give a shit. They almost were like, yo, we have to get rid of one of these win streaks because there's no way we end up giving both of these guys a title shot before the year is up. So match them up and get one of them out of here. And then hopefully we give Beneil, we feed him to somebody next, and then we can get him out of here too.
You tell me who you feeding him to, man, and I might take that money again, bro. But hey,
I hear you, man. Hey, it was good. It was a good night for you. It was a good night, and that's where it started. We lost Damon Andre Ewell fight. I'm not even sure what happened there, but Andre Ewell is actually fighting this weekend, I noticed. So
yeah,
I guess
scrambling for fights this weekend. So
that's odd to me though, because I had heard that he was the one who was dropped out of the fight. Well, maybe I got misinformed because
I didn't hear anything about it.
I thought he was out that night, and now he's fighting again. So I don't think I don't know. I don't really care either because like both of those guys suck.
Hey, take Andre Ewell. That's my guy right there.
Yeah, well, that's your guy. Yeah, but you didn't want to pick on him with these picks this week, did you? Though you didn't. No, because that guy's gonna come in and dice him up, sub him quick. That's not even in the picks, but he's subbing him. Rear naked choke. Clay Guida. I don't know if the intention was to like go out with a bang.
Wrong.
but I didn't hear you retire after the fight. So, when did you become Canelo Alvarez? I'm sorry, I'm mistaken because as far as I know, you've been fighting since the Ultimate Fighter -2, and you have wrestle humped every single man you've ever gotten into a cage with. I mean, at the very least, we dig that head into the groin and mash him up against the cage, right? You won your fight, and I still want to spit on you because you sat there and swung with Michael Johnson. Michael Johnson sucks. I told you that last week. But if there is literally one thing Michael Johnson may be able to stumble upon, it would be swinging an overhand right and knocking your dumb ass out.
Right.
How's Michael Johnson's wrestling?
He sucks.
Let's ask Khabib. Now, I know how everybody gets diced up by Khabib, but Khabib held Michael Johnson down with one hand.
Yikes!
Pointed at Dana White to tell him, you better give me Conor.
Loser.
Proceeds to slap him, point back at Dana White, and literally treated him like a infant little brother that he was torturing in the living room while mom was at work. And Clay Guida, this cocksucker won the exchanges. He was ducking and dipping and landing hooks, and I'm thinking, oh my God, I want to be excited about that. But I had a lot riding on that, I really felt good about it. And I swear I still stand by my research. Both fighters literally have done the opposite of where I thought they were trending like a year or 2 years ago, you know? And both fighters proceeded to, Clay Guida continued the style, and the other cocksucker, he adopted the style, but they both were taking people down and beating them up instead of getting knocked out, which is where I thought they were headed for the rest of their career.
Well, I mean, I'm not too upset with Clay Guida, man. He still edged it out 30-27. I had it 29-28.
Yikes!
But yeah, man. Judges scorecards 30-27.
Where did Michael Johnson win a 30-second exchange of that fight? I don't understand.
I think he could have stole the first round.
Really? Yeah.
Was I watching the wrong fight?
I challenge you to go back and watch that shit in slow motion. And Clay Guida not only won every exchange on the hands, but a few times actually did still take him down and try to take the back. And Michael Johnson sucks, man.
Yeah.
Michael Johnson sucks so much that he continues to lose and lose and lose and loses for years. And Dana White won't even talk about having that conversation with him. He doesn't even realize he's still there. He must come across that every once in a while and be like, no, that's got to be a different Michael Johnson. Very common name. It's not the one that Khabib was bitch slapping around back in the day.
Wow.
Couldn't be, but it was.
Asshole.
It was. Clay Guida, thanks for giving me hemorrhoids on the way to the victory. And apparently that would be the story of the night.
Let's go. What was next?
I would like to take a moment, just out of respect to him. And I have a kind of an opinion on it as well, but I'll be quick about it. But Frankie Edgar, we all know what happened. There's no reason to go into such extensive details. Frankie is a great man and one of my favorite fighters. And I'm not saying Frankie can't still come out there and beat guys 6 through 15 for the rest of his career. He could, but there's gonna be more of this once it starts happening.
Yeah.
I hoped there would be a retirement announcement coming, but Frankie has released a statement already. So I figured I would do the man the respect. He deserves it to just relay his statement.
Yeah, read that off.
I've licked my wounds long enough. I'm home with my family. Life is good. On Saturday, as prepared for a fight as I could have been. Props to Sandhagen. He landed a perfectly timed and executed bomb on me. Luckily, I don't remember it much, LOL. He's got a good sense of humor, at least.
Yeah.
This game can be a cruel bitch, and Saturday night was just that. But I ain't panicked. I've been here before. Thank you to my family, team, friends, who are really all one and the same, for continually giving me the love and support it takes to be a fighter. The loyalty and unconditional love and guidance you all give me is truly unbelievable. I love you all more than you know. To my fans who always ride with me, I appreciate you all, and you make this fun for me. Till next time, see you soon. Frankie Edgar.
Yeah, man. I hope he's all right, man. I want to see him come back because that's not the way to go out. He was definitely prepared for a fight. Nobody was gonna eat that knee.
Oh, yeah, we could say that. We can say that. But you know what? The Ortega one wasn't too long ago.
Yeah,
The Korean Zombie then did it
yeah.
after that. And, you know, this one was instantaneous. I would almost say, while of course it looks that way when the guy completely stiffens up and falls down on his face, I would say go back and watch some Frankie Edgar fights, and I would almost guarantee you he's eaten that knee, if not harder, at least 5 to 10 times in his career.
Square on the chin.
Bro, he's a takedown guy, and he used to fight at 155.
Oh, bro,
We're talking Khabib. We're talking Khabib.
I
You know how big Khabib
understand
is? Did you
that.
see Khabib next to Daniel Cormier at those fights a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
He must walk around at like 215, that animal. That's why he's holding everybody down, because he must literally cut down 55 pounds to get there. But Frankie used to be the champion of that class, man. How many times do you think he shot a takedown on a dude who's much taller than him, and that dude's rocked that knee into him? Bro, Gray Maynard beat the shit out of Frankie Edgar for like a round and a half, if not two. Where I literally just watched him roll around the octagon every time he took another hook. And Frankie in the first fight comes back to beat the shit out of him for 3 rounds and go to a draw. Then rematches him, gets the shit beat out of him for the first 2 rounds again, and comes back to knock him out in the 4th round. That's Frankie. So when you say anyone would have got knocked out by that, I'd actually say, if I had to build a list of top 5 guys who wouldn't have, it'd have been Frankie before this decline. I am never going to tell if I hate that shit, man. It's their career. They can do whatever they want, but like, and I'm nobody to him. So like, you know, I just kind of hope to myself that where he mentions, you know, thanking his family and his team and his friends who they give him the love and the support that allows him to be a fighter.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's time to give him the love and support to let him know it's okay to walk away, you know, because like he's a good dude, man, and he can really do something beyond this. You know, I can see that guy behind the booth at Fox or at Fox at wherever they are now, ESPN. Like Frankie is the man. He could talk. He's like a Jersey guy, but you know what I mean. Like got that swag. I don't know, man. I just like I don't want to see this dude get hurt, man. And that's 3 vicious. I know he had like a decision win in there somewhere, but that is 3 vicious knockouts. And then, not for nothing, but even the fight before that, Max beat the shit out of him too.
Yeah, he did.
I feel for him.
He's fought all the names, man. Give him one of them lower level fighters, man.
Nah, man. Yeah, I guess. But can I ask you this? What happens when you give him that lower level fighter?
Yo, that's on you. But you can't go out he can't go out the way he
number 17. Enrique Consuelas, who we've never met, fucking spinning kicks Frankie Edgar in the head and knocks him unconscious. But then we're really sad.
But then that's on him, bro. You know he don't want to go.
Yo, I don't want to say this because it makes me sad, but it's funny too, and not funny, but it's ironic in a way because of how much their careers are tied together.
Yeah,
he's like getting dangerously close to BJ Penn status, you know?
Yo,
where like you get towards the end, man, and then they just start beating you up, and eventually you're gonna be like 16-14, and it's gonna look like, how is this guy a Hall of Famer? You know what Frankie Edgar's problem was? He should have been at 135 from the very beginning.
Yeah.
But when he came in the UFC, all they had was 155. Then they bought the WEC, which is where they got all the lower level, like lower weight fighters. But he, at that time, was the champion when they came in. So, like, why would he have? That don't make sense, right? And Frankie's not the type of guy to get a second belt by moving down.
Right.
That's a TJ Dillashaw EPO move. That's not a Frankie Edgar move. Frankie Edgar's a man of men. So he should have been down at 135. Then he would have been the champion at 135. He would have been the champion at 145. He would have been the champion at 155. But he took a lot of wars at 155 on the way up. And now he's starting to hit that. Listen, he for a little while there was the guy who like, oh shit, man, if we put a young prospect up against Frankie, he's just going to beat him again.
Yep.
And how many times can we keep giving him title shots? Because Frankie was that guy who was like perpetually the second, third best guy in the division.
Yeah.
Couldn't beat Aldo, couldn't beat Holloway, but was like, could beat everybody else.
Right.
Once those up-and-coming guys start to make their name off of you, you've done the favors, my man. That's it. It's like WWE. You've 3 times already.
Right.
4 if you want to count Max. I'm sorry, I just think it's done. I just think it's over. That's with all due respect, man. I love you, Frankie Edgar. You're my favorite fighter of all time. Now, there's 2 types of retirement speeches to give somebody. And not that this guy doesn't deserve his flowers, because he does. Alistair Overeem, the former middleweight who was cutting a 265 with juice pouring out of his nipples to beat up Brock Lesnar. So what happens, huh? He starts getting, his face knocked off of him because he never had a chin. Frankly, he used to get popped by light heavyweights back in Pride and knocked out super quick. So quick that when my man initially came in the game, he used to walk around with that Demolition Man hammer. But why he put that shit away? Because it looked pretty embarrassed when you the one keep catching the hammer. So what did my man do? He went and got him some Mexican supplements, and he tore through Japan like the biggest roided out Godzilla I've ever seen in my life.
Holy shit!
Wow. Asshole.
Hit him.
And you know what? I didn't mind that much when he came into the UFC and beat up Brock Lesnar. But man, after USADA shows up, my man deflates like a balloon that's stuck in the ceiling after a birthday party. Where'd you go? And what is that little kangaroo pouch hanging over your shorts? I'm sorry, what? Okay. Into these fights with guys like Francis Ngannou, who, let's be real. I watched his soul leave, right? This guy was getting knocked out unconscious when I was in 5th grade. He sucks. He's been up and down the road, but man, that juice takes it out on you, especially when you're not doing it no more. Especially mentally.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm thinking this guy is going to kind of go through one of those ugly end of his careers, man. We might see him get hurt a couple times. Then what's his name? That other Rosenstruck?
Mm-hmm.
He's losing that fight till the very last second, and that guy punches him through the cage like Undertaker did Mankind in Hell in a Cell. And I go, whoa, this guy is definitely done. Then, because, of course, I go against him in my league the next 3 fights. I even believe I might have had a bet in there somewhere. My man goes to Greg Jackson's for a week, because that's what he is. He's like the whore of MMA gyms. The guy don't stay nowhere. Nobody likes him because he's a pompous asshole.
Yikes!
You can just tell, he's like a cocky prick, and I guarantee his dick is like this big.
Whoa.
And if it wasn't, it is after all that fucking juice. Okay. But what does he do? He adopts this new game plan. Oh, my man is a wrestler now. He don't stand up and fight no more. And not even in a disrespectful way, not Kamaru Usman or something. No, he takes you down. He beats the shit out of you down there. Wow, okay. And he's always, of course, he's still dangerous up here, but he's protecting his head now. Alistair Overeem must have been sharing shots with his boy because the wrestling disappeared. Just like Michael Johnson, Alexander Volkov has one single solitary motherfucking way to beat you, you dumb cunt. Fucking ankle pick him at the start of the fight and punch his head through the canvas until he's tired and no longer can knock your wibble ass out. What do? No, you take your wash ass up and start fucking running. He just ran. This dude punched him. He said, no.
He ducked, covered, and ran to the fence.
No.
Yeah.
No. Where's the ream?
Nah,
Somebody stick a needle in his ass. Who cares?
Fantarine.
You know what I mean? Free him. Who cares?
Oh, man. Yo.
Oh.
It's everything's fine and dandy until you walk up in that octagon and you get hit with that Russian power, man.
Oh,
Volkov looked like a superstar with hands up
Ah,
and close out the night.
yeah, you always do when the bum is standing across from you. Just look. Hey, listen. I'll give you one prime example. Anthony Johnson, Alexander Gustafsson in Sweden. Who looked like the bum that night? Right?
Yeah.
What about when he went up against Daniel Cormier? What happened then? Daniel Cormier beat him within half his life. If that was outside in the street, big ass hammer throwing Anthony Johnson was dead.
Yeah.
He was dead. And guess what? It wasn't in the street, and your man knew it because he tapped before DC even locked it in. He gave up. I don't even want to hear it. Then they fought again, and he gave up again. And this time, he knocked DC halfway across the cage first, and DC said, oh, shit, and got up and beat his ass in again. I'm telling you, I don't see it in Volkov. He's one of those guys that's going to be, like, middle of the pack, but, like, when he gets up to the top, I mean, I don't know. Heavyweight sucks, so I guess you never know. I can't guarantee that. I just don't think he'd ever beat Stipe right now. And let's not forget, man, think what you want. But he's coming. Alexander Volkov will never be taking that belt off of John Bones
Johnny
Jones.
Bones? Johnny Bones?
Come on. Would you like to retract your statement about where Alexander Volkov is headed now that I've reminded you John Bones is coming to heavyweight?
Bro, he looks big, man.
How about this? If John Bones isn't the one who does it, if you was Alexander Volkov's family member, despite him being one of the baddest men on the planet, would you feel comfortable about him fighting Francis Ngannou?
Definitely not.
Caveat, the UFC does not provide a dental plan for their fighters in case you were wondering.
I'm not stepping up in there.
The fight of fights to make. They missed out by not doing Masvidal versus Conor when it was hot. After the Cowboy fight, you should have just done it. The money fight. You missed it. You'll never have the same allure now that Dustin did what he did. Even if he came back and KO'd Dustin back, it's still not the same. The fight of all fights right now. We lost Khabib, Tony. We saw Conor Khabib. We lost Conor Masvidal. I'm very sorry, Stipe, because I respect you so much, my man. I really do, but I'm really sorry. The fight is John Jones, Francis Ngannou. Let's see what the fuck is gonna happen with that.
You think that's who he's that's who he's stepping up to fight?
Well, Ngannou's getting the fight against Stipe next. And I mean, I always kind of felt like John Jones might, not because he needs to, he absolutely deserves a title shot, whether he wants to go up, down. I don't care if he wants to fight for the women's 145 belt. He deserves it. But
Stephen A wouldn't agree with that statement.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, right. Stephen A, his knee punches. Johnny Bones versus Francis Ngannou is, wow, the fight to make. Moving along, we got another UFC upcoming. Let's try to get through this a little quicker. I've been ranting a little too much, but we're basically gonna set some picks up for this as well. We got UFC 258, which actually, surprising enough, is, despite I think a lot of people being sour on the main event, including myself in certain ways.
Yeah.
It's a decent card top to bottom, unless you're just like an absolute filthy casual.
Right. Yeah, it's got some decent names on the card.
Yeah.
Ricky Simone. It's got Bilal Muhammad, Diego Lima. We're not gonna get into that, but I think that'll be a pretty decent fight right there.
Yeah, shout out to them, because I don't want to, I don't want to pick the entire fight card, so we went with 5, but they were on the short list. I could see one or two of these fights that we did pick kind of being maybe, why didn't we drop one of those for that fight? Because I really like that fight. But
what are you gonna do?
At the end of the day, who cares? This is the way they've set it up, so I guess we could kick it off with Bobby Green, the decision machine, versus Jim Miller, the New Jersey boy.
Yo, I feel like I've been watching Jim Miller forever, bro.
Oh my God, yo. Whew. I mean, what can you say, man? Jim Miller's been dangerous for 15 years, I guess, but like definitely dangerous by sub too. Watch out for that. Not that I'm calling that. I just think Bobby Green. Did you look at Bobby Green's recent fights at all?
I did, bro. I was on his hype train for a little bit, and I'm glad I hopped off for his last fight, bro.
Well, yeah, I remember, and I recall that he's fought a few times recently, but 9 decisions in a row.
Yeah.
I mean, like bouncing back and forth between them. Dustin Poirier KO'd him in the first round back in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
And then 9 decisions in a row, varying levels of success. He had that little run where he won 3 in a row, but like
not against anybody. I mean, he's got Clay Guida, give you that. Lando Venata and Alan Patrick.
Lando Venata is a little underrated.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Lando Venata's not bad, but he lost to Francisco Trinaldo and Thiago Moises, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I think also
and it goes back to the decision thing, like you said, bro.
Yeah, I know. I wouldn't gamble on him.
Right.
And I wouldn't be surprised if I was wrong about this, but I went Bobby Green by decision.
Okay.
I just think eventually Jim Miller has to like lose and retire.
Yeah.
Not that he doesn't lose. I think he lost his last fight, but it's like I don't know. I just think Bobby Green will be able to do enough at this stage in the game. He like fought like 4 or 5 times in 2020.
Both of them.
But Jim Miller hasn't had one since August. And
right.
Bobby Green had one in June, had one in August, had one in September, then in October, and I was like, "What the hell was he doing?" And then like had a little break. I don't know. I just think he's been more active lately. I think both are really on the downspin of the career, but Jim Miller's just a little closer to the end.
Okay.
Not that I expect Bobby Green to go anywhere or do anything with it, but I see him by decision. I wouldn't bet minus 250 on him. I think that's insane.
Yeah. I mean, for picks purposes and just because I was going to go the opposite way anyway, I like Jim Miller by sub, bro.
All right.
At some point, you got to see that decision go change one way or another, right? 9 decisions in a row. That's kind of crazy.
I mean, I had it noted that I felt obviously if it were to go Jim Miller's way, he takes his back and chokes him out.
Yeah.
I see it. I don't know. I just think Bobby Green there's something about that 9 decisions in a row, and I think it plays into this weird, like, I don't know. When he was catching a little hype back in the day, I felt like he was a bit of a gangster.
Yeah.
And then he got like weirdly like soft and started like hugging and kissing coaches and shit. And like since then, he's just been like so tentative that no matter what or who he's fighting, what situation he's in, it just goes to a boring decision. And I don't think Jim Miller's like the most dynamic fighter in the world. And I think Bobby Green could probably run away enough to not get taken down. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Moving on. Ricky Simone, who I think is actually a really promising prospect. I know he had a couple bumps in the road, but I don't know, man. I just really like him. Chael son and protege. But no denying that Brian Kelleher is as game as they come.
Kelleher is always in it to win it.
Yeah.
But Ricky Simone, man, I've been watching him for a while. Hurt me when he lost to Uriah Faber.
Yeah.
That was big.
That one sucked.
Got knocked out in the first round. That was just insane. Then came back to lose a decision to Rob Font.
Don't sleep on Rob Font, New England Mafia.
No. That's why I'm going with Ricky Simone, because those are two good names. The Faber one, that really, it didn't look too good, but I mean,
well, you know what though, that was just a misread by the UFC. I'm sorry to say, like just how we spoke before, how the Frankie Edgar was like the second, third best fighter in the division in like perpetuity. That was Uriah Faber down at 135,
right?
Even 145 for a little bit. Like he could. I mean, the guy got more title shots than anyone in the history of time in the UFC and never got the belt. Just couldn't get over Dominic Cruz, and he can't get it off Renan Barão. Yeah. And then TJ Dillashaw gets it off Renan Barão, and he can't get it off TJ Dillashaw. So you start thinking, all right, let's start feeding this double chin looking little 12-year-old skateboarder to like somebody who could like make a name off of him. And Ricky Simone got starched. They had fucked up that day. He wasn't ready, and neither was Uriah Faber. Faber hadn't hit the point yet to drop off of there. I agree though. I got Ricky Simone by sub, man. I think he'll actually take this one to the ground. I mean, Kelleher he's loud, he's energetic, I like him, he's game. I just think the wrestling pedigree takes care of Kelleher.
Yeah, I think that one's pretty simple.
Yep, for sure. Okay, so we both got Ricky Simone. Moving along. I got something to say about this guy too. I really, even more so than the next fight, I debated switching the Bilal Muhammad fight in for this Kelvin Gastelum Ian Heinisch fight. Because, yeah, I thought about it because, Gastelum is one of those guys. I've watched his whole career, from when Chael was his coach on The Ultimate Fighter against Vanderlei with that whole crazy season. And he just snuck up and won because obviously everyone thought bitch ass Uriah Hall was going to win after doing that crazy spinning kick. We saw the next Anderson Silva.
Yeah.
But Gastelum runs through the tournament. And Ian Heinisch is a journeyman. I hate to say that because he's kind of he's just a guy who's he'll get to the middle of the pack. He's never going to break the top 5. And it kind of just annoys me a little bit that they're sort of just trying to save Kelvin because he's on a 3-fight losing streak. Now, don't get me wrong.
Is that what you think this fight is?
Well, I think it's almost a either way we don't lose.
Right.
Because I really, if I had to guess, I think Dana does not believe Ian Heinisch is the next one to dethrone Israel Adesanya. I also think Kelvin Gastelum gave him the toughest fight he had, so Dana would be interested in seeing that again.
Okay.
I also think Kelvin Gastelum is just better known. So either you get Kelvin Gastelum a win back,
right,
or in a very surprising fashion, you hope Ian Heinisch does something spectacular, just starts that little fat boy, and you kind of could maybe build one more fight off of that then, since he just knocked out Kelvin.
Hey man, this fight's in the States, so I wouldn't be surprised if Kelvin drops out at last minute. But if this fight does make it, I think he's going to be used as a stepping stool.
Well, okay, so first off, you say if the fight does make it, but you didn't really address really what it was. Is the first fight is going to be with the scale.
Yes.
Even at 185.
Yeah.
Which I mean is fucking mind blowing. And this is not fat shaming in any way. No. My man is 5'9". That's Conor McGregor's height. Conor McGregor used to be the 145-pound champion in the world.
Yeah.
You couldn't make 170.
Holy shit!
Nate Diaz is 6'2".
Yikes!
He was taking shots in Cabo and eating like an animal and could make 170.
Yeah.
You can't make 185. Bro, he is literally he should be embarrassed.
Yeah.
For throwing away a truly potentially talented career for a couple extra McFlurries. He sucks.
True, bro.
If he beats the scale, I think it's a lackluster decision over Ian Heinisch. And while we expect him to win, he's a 2-1 favorite. It's nothing that impresses us. It maybe saves him from the chopping block for slightly longer, but not much. Right. Look forward to seeing you in Bellator fighting at 205.
Yeah.
Fucking guy. Who you got?
Oh, I already told you, bro. He's Heinisch is going to use Kelvin as a stepping stool, bro.
Oh, my bad. I was ranting on him so hard.
Yeah.
I missed that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. Is that your underdog of the night? Or is Jim Miller your underdog of the night? Because both are pretty a doozy. I guess you could go with either one.
Yeah, I think the safer one is Ian Heinisch, bro.
Oh yeah, you like it like that, huh?
Yeah, bro. I you know what it is?
All right, let me ask you this.
I don't believe in Kelvin.
No, I was gonna say because
that's what it is.
Let me play devil's advocate on you with that. I knew that was more to do with Kelvin than it was with Ian, because I was gonna say, no disrespect to the man, but like, what has Ian Heinisch done that makes you feel he's gonna make a mark like that, or is the UFC is even trying to make it that way? I mean, they do that with guys we don't know, not guys who are like 6, 7 fight UFC veterans.
I mean, before the knockout on Mearshart, where this guy was talking mad shit. Not much, bro. He lost to fucking Derek Brunson, bro. Like, so it's
Okay,
not
and that's
really,
my
it's
point, and
not,
that's my
it's
but
not
that's
really
my point.
much I can go
What
off.
was that? 2019?
Yeah,
You don't lose to Derek Brunson in 2019.
nah,
Maybe in Strikeforce back in the day.
nah.
Maybe very very early on in the UFC.
I agree. This 100% has everything to do with Calvin.
100%.
Yeah, and you know what? I think that has something to do with the UFC's decision to book this fight too.
Right. Yeah,
I think it's like, listen, if you can't beat Ian Heinisch, get the fuck out.
Yeah,
Get the fuck out. See you later. Enjoy Bellator. Anyway, their next great white hope, Macy Barber, who pulled the ill Sean O'Malley in her last fight and, I don't know, broke her foot, which is kind of also the ill Chris, but that's a story for another day. If I ever get my hands on that tape. So to me, you know what this looks like? I think it looks like a setup to get Macy Barber back on track. You know why? Because is she really fighting in the co-main event? I wish I had his phone number. Because I'd love to shoot him a text and be like, yo, you better tell Macy she should drop out.
Yeah.
Because Alexa Grasso looks like, I don't know, she might show up and sell you Girl Scout cookies at your front door tomorrow. But she's going to beat the shit out of this little girl, I think. I really do.
100% agree.
Don't sleep. I think she puts the beats on her and Macy Barber goes plummeting down the rankings.
Yeah, bro. I wonder what her dad's going to have to say after that.
And I'm not even trying to say she's not worth anything and won't eventually make it back up. She hung her hat on becoming the youngest UFC champion ever.
Mm-hmm.
After that loss, it essentially became impossible. The adrenaline dump and disappointment that carries on from letting Roxanne Modafferi fucking whisper Dragon Ball Z spells on top of you for 3 rounds while you lose your undefeated thing that you've been trying to like promote, that the youngest champion of all time. This girl left the ring with a Dragon Ball Z thing fucking drawn on her forehead. Yeah. She was sick over that. She's still sick over it.
Yep.
I'm sorry. No disrespect to Roxanne either, but disrespect. Yo, you weird as fuck. You weird as fuck.
Yeah, we ain't really got to stay on this. We're both on Grasso for this, man.
Oh, yeah, I'm totally with that. All right. Marty foot stomps versus Gilbert. My eye burns when he fights. I'm hating a little bit, but I actually think this might be a better fight than we think. I think you could get away with a little of the shit that Usman did to Masvidal because of the difference in their games.
Yeah.
It's just what it is. Like, Masvidal's never going to out-wrestle this dude. It's like Conor Khabib. It's like no matter what, it'll never happen.
Right.
But and this may be Marty Usman hate, but I've always said I'm a very good judge of body language. And I just never believed in that guy's body language. Now, don't get me wrong, he's talented enough of a grappler and athletic enough to become champion and really if you looked at the scorecards, it looks like he's pretty easily walking through everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, he's walking through them by literally stomping on their feet, but it looks that way, right? He, to me, has been saying for these last couple of weeks that, you know what, I could see in his eyes if I had to read something. And this may seem a little convoluted at first, but, I tend to do this. My mind goes back and forth. I feel like I can see Usman saying to himself, you don't have anything really to worry about here, because without a doubt, Usman got the better of the exchanges for the most part in their gym sessions. I believe that 100%. And typically, in those cases, I feel like it does translate a lot to the octagon, or it could, right? I don't know, but I kind of do know that probably for a good 6 to 8 months, John Jones was whipping Rashad Evans' ass before, they ended up being in the same camp.
Right. Yeah.
Because I just feel like Evans must have known. Going into that fight, they both knew. John Jones said to himself, like, I've been whipping you for years, and I'm younger than you. And, like, so in some sense, I think that could carry in. But I also think that Usman is the type to be, he's so physically gifted, but so mentally weak. I can see him just all week trying to tell himself, dude, you have nothing to worry about. You have always gotten the better of the exchanges. And then I think Gilbert Burns might have some pent-up anger about some of that.
Okay.
And just at the end of the day, and this goes for both guys, don't get me wrong, not that Burns was holding back and Usman wasn't, but I don't know. I feel like both were probably holding back. Obviously, they were sparring partners.
Yeah.
But I feel like the rage that Gilbert will come with now to get revenge on those times he did have to hold back if he was losing a lot of those exchanges. Kind of reminiscent of, I'd hate to say this because he was probably juiced to the gills, but TJ Dillashaw, Cody Garbrandt, like a week before their fight, Cody and his coach released that video of Cody knocking out TJ in practice, right?
Yeah.
What happened in the fight? We were there.
Mm-hmm.
Not a good look. And then it happened again.
Yep.
I mean, he was dressed up as testosterone, man, but he still he changed Cody's whole trajectory, man. Because
So
with Cody,
what you saying? You got Gilbert in the upset?
yeah,
Really?
for my underdog of the night, yeah.
Holy sugar.
Yeah. And honestly, I'll be honest with you, and it could go either one of these ways. This is not tied to my underdog of the night. I'm just taking him. I mean, he's a 2-1 fit underdog. I don't know, man. I'm torn. I feel like he might even starch him, like rock him, drop him, finish him, like land a couple on the ground, and then Usman's like getting up, like, what do you mean? Like,
nah, man, I can't see that, bro.
What I have written down is by decision in a very surprising 5-round affair that goes back and forth. I get the feeling you're going to see a lackadaisical, unmotivated Kamaru Usman. I don't know why.
If you see that guy, then I can see him getting knocked out and put on his ass. But
I see more of like a surprisingly unmotivated Usman getting completely outclassed for 5 rounds in like a not a 5-0 sweep, 4-1 on one judges, 3-2 on the other two.
No way.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I just get the feeling. I get the feeling that the guy who comes into it sort of like, you know what? Well, fucking think he better than me, right? Because he got those. They both know. They both know. And you could just see that like that smirk on Usman's face where he's just thinking to himself like, none of these guys wanted with me, man.
Right.
We're like, dude, you convincing us or you? You're a clown. Shut up, Marty foot stomps.
Nah, I'm gonna take Kamaru, bro. Foot stomps and all, man.
You know what? It may be a little of me literally just hoping that someone takes that belt off of him. Not that Gilbert Burns would be any better, but just in some weird way, styles make fights, and I think it'd be easier for someone else to beat up Gilbert Burns and take that belt.
Right.
Even if he's the only one who's able to get to Usman some way.
Got you.
You know what I mean? But yeah, that's my underdog of the night. Gilbert Burns. Don't. I'm not saying take that as a bet or anything because I don't do that anymore.
We are not doing that anymore.
Nope. That is over.
Hey, gamble with your heads and not over it, and do not take any of our picks trying to make money.
Yeah. Full disclosure. We are taking no accountability for anything.
No.
I mean, I gave you a long shot anyway. Mine was plus 600. Like,
yeah,
you threw $100. You didn't like lose your shirt. I just proceeded to lose my shirt in every other way afterwards.
Yeah, Tom Brady owns my shirt.
Yeah, well, I mean, I went that way. I got, call it what it be. I lost on the over. I really thought it'd be a shootout.
Yeah.
Sunday morning, I didn't give a fuck what I said on this pod. I said to myself, "Where's the money?
Where's the
Tom
money?
Brady's winning this shit. Where's the money?"
Hey, it is what it is, bro.
And I really I said, "Yo, if the Chiefs just make a little comeback, I'll be right there." Comeback.
All you needed was another touchdown and a field goal.
No, maybe 2 touchdowns, I think.
Oh, yeah, maybe 2 touchdowns. Well, they could have caught those.
Oh,
two
well, I'm so
touchdowns if they
sorry
hadn't
to have
bounced off their
expected
damn helmets.
Yeah, I'm so sorry to have expected the fucking Kansas City Chiefs to have scored 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, right.
Well, no, I don't mean in 5 minutes. I meant in the whole fucking game. Are you kidding me?
No.
All right. You know what? That's enough. We got through football. We got through the UFC.
Yeah, before we get out of here, let's run over a tiny little bit of baseball before we get out of here, bro.
Let me ask you something, Chris. I'm going to give you quick little career stats on 2 baseball players.
Pull them up.
Player A, 75 wins, 64 losses, 3.9 ERA in 205 games pitched.
Okay.
Player B, 88 and 73, 3.77 ERA in 242 games pitched. Seems pretty comparable, right? I mean, 88 and 73, and player A at 75 and 64 is now both players have years within their career of player A has a 17 and 9 year, still with an over 4 ERA, but 17 and 9, great year. Outside of that, a lot of average, mediocre years. And then those 5 and 4 in the shortened season with a 1.73 ERA.
Yeah.
Look like a bitch, smell like a bitch, is a bitch. Trevor Bauer, you bitch.
Own up.
Because before you go calling me a bitter Mets fan, I want to make something very clear. Player B, who's got a better win-loss percentage in his career, a better win-loss record, a 3.77 ERA compared to a 3.9 ERA, and actually many more years of success to look at, 14 and 12 with a 3.5 ERA, 11 and 8, 18 and 6, 17 and 10. Man, that sounds damn good.
Yeah.
Sounds a little bit better than bitch ass player A.
Yes, it does.
Carlos Carrasco. Welcome to the New York Mets, my man.
Yeah, that's player B.
A bona fide throw-in for Francisco Lindor, the best shortstop in the game. But I'm not saying he's a throw-in. No, because honestly, I think my man might be the 2 starter to start the season, but no lower than 3.
Yeah.
We just got him as a salary dump in a deal for the best shortstop in baseball. Do you know he's secured in a 4-year deal for $45 million?
Beautiful. That's how you do it, bro.
I mean, what a steal.
That's how you do it.
Let's talk about what bitch-ass player A got.
Oh.
I'm supposed to be bitter?
He got paid.
You know what? Hey, you know what? I respect that. Trevor Bauer, damn, bro. 100 mil over 3 years. 40 and 45 in the first 2.
Mm-hmm.
I just showed the stats.
Yeah.
I started looking into this agent, Rachel Luba, right? Because, I'm a pop culture whore, so I need to go into looking at things that are spicy. And you hear a lot of stuff, Trevor Bauer, all of a sudden, he's a big mouth. He's a big shot.
Yeah.
This is way before even this free agent season, right? I'm like, oh, okay. And then there's this chick who represents him, and right off the bat, you see that and you think to yourself, wow, it is actually pretty shocking, not for any of my own beliefs or anything, just for, baseball is probably, the most, old school, old boy, group that keeps people out. They won't, I didn't think they were like Cohen, but he was too rich for them to do that. So, so it kind of plays into her story a little bit, I did a little research into her because she likes to be very salacious, just like him, in a very douchey way. I don't even give a fuck that my man sold signed Met hats on his merchandise the night before.
I do.
Speak on it if you do. I fine.
Bad look. But go ahead.
I agree. Bad luck. I also think clearly he wanted the Dodgers the night before. I'm assuming the Dodgers offered less than the Mets. Then his little rat of an agent went out and dropped the story of there's 2 teams in the race, so that the Dodgers he was trying to force somebody's number up. I don't know which of the 2 of us it was, and he got it to work in LA. And, you know, obviously I'm a Mets fan. People say, oh, you're bitter. We have Jacob deGrom. I showed you the stats. That's the last time I'm going to say it.
Yeah.
I'm certainly not bitter. So as I'm going through this research, you know, I already obviously have a first impression that isn't so great of this pairing of Bauer and Rachel Luba. So I go to look into her a little bit, and basically, as expected, she was blackballed out of it. No one was going to let her into the old boys club.
Right.
And so, you know, I truly do respect this, that she started Luba Sports. As I arrived to the website, something stood out to me immediately that said, oh, you're on the right track with these people.
Okay.
I quote, Luba Sports represents MLB players, MLB coaches, along with professional softball players. Side note, none of them are listed. That tells me something.
Yeah.
But that's a little bit of a hater thing to say. So I look more into it and I come up on another quote, basically detailing their service. Client-friendly fee structure. Pay for the service, not your performance.
Yikes!
Well, that says everything, doesn't it? That plays right into what I was thinking. You know, girl, I respect your grind.
Yeah.
I get it. You're going up against the type of monster old boys club that none of us could beat. But just remember, this can go one of two ways. When you get a number 3 starter $100 million over 3 years, you're more than likely going to convince another player to come give it a test run.
Yeah, you already know.
But here's my question. What type of player is that you're attracting?
Loser.
The best players in the world already get the big money. I don't care who their agents are. Frankly, they do those agents a service because, you know, if they wanted to, they could just sign the contract deals
They could
themselves
do
and
it.
they don't even need one.
Exactly.
Right? Like,
Exactly.
who needs, like, why does Mike Trout need an agent? He doesn't, right? So what it comes down to as an agent is it's more about signing them before they pop
Yeah.
and you know, having that eye for the talent, or capitalizing on a situation where at some point in the career a great player is sick and tired of a poor representation, so they get rid of them and it's your one shot to get in there.
Yeah.
So that being said, Rachel Luba, you are going to sign more clients. I'm not trying to act stupid. I know that's going to happen. But I can also promise you it's going to end up being a laundry list of mediocre journeymen all hoping to get $100 million. Now, how does that work out for them? How does that work out for you? You know, you can only rip people off for so long when you operate as an absolute fucking con artist. Let me ask you this from an unbiased perspective. The Mets are obviously now positioned as one of the biggest spenders in the league, right?
You already know.
That's not me being a Met fan, right? I think if you turned on ESPN and they were talking baseball, someone told you the Mets are one of the biggest spenders in the league now.
Clear as day.
Clear as fucking day. You think they want to work with her again? You think next time she comes up with some 3 starter that we all kind of in the back of our head knew was no fucking Jacob deGrom, you think we're even going to give her the time of day? So you just alienated the richest owner in baseball. Now, I can't speak for Steve Cohen like I know him, but hedge fund manager? That's not the type of guy you burn.
Yeah.
Because you know what he'll do tomorrow? He'll take every dollar he has and he'll take your little, whatever your little pay for the service, not your performance thing model here is, and he'll make one 3 times the size of you, and he'll staff it with actual agents, and you'll be gone. But let's say he doesn't even do that. Let's just say he boycotts doing business with you. Now, don't get me wrong. If Rachel Luba figures out a way to sign Mike Trout, the Mets will look the other way, and so will I.
Right.
But a guy like Trout would never sign with her
Right.
because she brings no value. Yeah, she disrupts the market. She causes a stir. She creates a buzz. But if you sign with her, amongst the other players, you're essentially admitting that you're just like Trevor Bauer, who is the talent of a 3 or 4 starter, depending on what team it is, who is literally going to be paid the richest contract over 2 years in the history of baseball.
Yep. Cash it.
What added value does Rachel Luba bring to a player like Ken Griffey Jr.? Nothing. Why would he go down that route? Why would he do that? He's going to get all the big money anyway.
Yeah.
They don't need you. They don't need you. And you know what? She may even get some other bum a paycheck that he doesn't deserve.
Most likely.
But all that will do is continue to reinforce what she isn't more than what she is. I almost could have respected her. But if he's going to act like a jerk off, okay, that's your client, and he's your ticket in, right?
Yeah.
But how about you have a little respect?
Right.
She has none. She thought it was cute. She thought it was funny. She thought putting out these apologies afterwards and saying, oh, sorry, Met fans, we still love you. Oh, that's so funny.
Eat it.
That's so funny. You know when it'll be funny? 3 games into the season, when we all now know and realize Trevor Bauer's a bum, and everybody's looking at you like, wow, the next time you come into free agency with one of these 12-year veteran journeymen trying to pull off another heist, you've already soured the relationship with the richest owner in baseball.
Yeah.
In a league with no salary cap, you fucking idiot. You're literally one of those people who dig their own grave before they put a bullet in your fucking head and put you in there. You know, I never understood that mentality. Fuck you. Shoot me now, bitch, and enjoy the dig.
Damn.
But no, they dig away, spending their last few moments of relevancy with absolutely zero self-respect, just to buy yourself a couple more minutes of life.
Yeah.
Enjoy the whole. I hope your pay per service contract with Bauer still gets you a nice percentage, because it's the last significant deal you'll make in this league. Mark my words.
She's definitely gonna get a pretty penny off that, but yeah.
Are you sure?
Oh, I hope. Would hope so. I
guess so, right? I guess so. Her slogan is, "You ain't got to work for it. I'll make your name big enough just to make them give it to you." And the Dodgers, like a sad, sorry, sucker-ass organization who just came off a World Series, actually gives in to give this bum $85 million for 2 years. Oh, how scared are you? How afraid are you that we are coming for that crown? Guess what? Guess what? It's happening anyway. Bro, if anything, you just helped us.
I told you, bro, I didn't want him on the Mets from the beginning. I said I would take him, but I didn't want him. Glad he went to the Dodgers. And, bro, we spoke about this already. I told you, come playoff time, he'll be the 5th starter. Don't care what nobody says.
You know what? The only reason I'm not sure if that's true is because I can't even fucking name the other 3 guys who are going to start for them. Fuck them.
The other 3 guys? Kershaw, Buehler, Price.
Yeah,
there goes your 3.
I mean, but David Price is a bum. David Price is a bum. I don't know where I put him.
We'll see.
I would connect his GPS to another team stadium and hope he's Anyway, fuck them. I don't give a fuck. Enjoy it. Clearly you were afraid. Clearly you saw us on your tail. Listen, I'll admit it. I was willing to sign Bauer. Right. I wasn't one of these guys saying, "Oh my God, we have to." And I wasn't one of these guys who said, "No, oh my God, stay away from him." Yeah. I thought, listen, we have Jacob deGrom. He doesn't have to come here and be the best pitcher in baseball.
No.
He don't have to. Because he'll never be Jacob deGrom. So all he has to do is be at least the 2nd best here. And that's fine. I think he could do that. But now, even though Buehler will always be better than him too, and I still like Kershaw more than him too.
Yeah.
He's still, after that contract, it's going to be looked at as you are the number 1 or you're a bust.
Right.
Well, let's see. I don't know, because you know what's funny? He played a 60-game season last year, went 5-4 with a 1.7 ERA, playing in the worst division in the history of baseball, the NL Central. The year just before that, he started the same amount of games, but was hurt, right? Like, so he got 10 games in 2019 and 11 in 2020. So 2020, he was healthy, but it was a 60-game season. 2019, he got hurt, but he got 10 games in. 6.39 ERA, and he went 2-5 in 2019. And in 2021, he will make $40 million a year. And all he did was go 5-4.
Sick.
In a 60-game season.
Sick.
Wow. Anyway, fuck those bumps. Mark my words. She's finished. You could have had a career and you could have made it. You could have been the first super baseball agent as a woman.
Could have been a female Scott Boras.
But instead, what you really did was just enough to set the ground for a respectable woman to come behind you and actually get that accolade. So fuck you. Where do the Mets go from here? I just want to know that. I just want to go through a couple last little bullet points and then we get the hell out of here. Conversations about third base, another outfielder, another pitcher,
right.
bullpen or starter. I was out on Jackie Bradley Jr. up until the point where MLB agreed earlier today to implement the universal DH.
Yeah.
Now I kind of feel like that opens that back up for us. You know, it just works out perfectly. You sign Jackie Bradley Jr., you shore up the defense. I wouldn't mind a Trevor Rosenthal signing. I think he had a nice bounce back year, even though it was a short season.
What do you think of Jake Odorizzi?
So, I mean, he's on my list as well. You know, I think we may go that route just because I'm pretty convinced we traded Matz under the belief that Bauer was going to sign.
Right.
Not that I'm like all that devastated about that either. Like, you know, it is what it is. I would have traded him for like a dish rag. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I think they go Odorizzi. I don't want to butcher that.
Yeah. Jake Odorizzi.
Yeah, I mean, I like that.
I like that move.
I wouldn't mind the bullpen either and getting another arm in there with Rosenthal. He had Tommy John 2 years ago, and I feel like it always takes those guys about 2 years. And man, his velocity was up last year. And frankly, the Phillies are interested in him, and I just think we should just start going back to doing that. Just I don't even care if you don't want him. Just take him from them. Who cares?
Right. Yep.
But at the end of the day, I love where we are. Despite the Bauer thing, I think it's going to be a blessing in disguise that we don't know yet. And I would now like to turn our attention to, listen, we got a lot of really important pieces coming up that we personally need to re-sign ourselves. I mean, you got Lindor, Conforto, Syndergaard, and down the road, Alonso and McNeil. Don't even mention Stroman. He's a bitch. He already opted out. He wants to pitch this one season because he thinks we'll win a World Series. And then he thinks he's going to go get some gigantic contract, which you know what? I'm sure the Dodgers will give him. So enjoy. You can have him now if you like. I don't give a fuck. You know, the guy's not that bad, but frankly, there's like levels to this shit, man. If you're going to chirp, be good.
Hey.
If you're going to be a mediocre, like he's been his whole career, shut the fuck up until you do something good.
Yeah, yep.
But you know what? He might not only be on his way out of the Mets. If anything, he is literally the fucking prime candidate for Rachel Luba's next client. I mean, for a guy who thinks he's going into free agency to get way more than he deserves, I'll point you in the direction of who thinks she could get it for you.
True.
Fuck all that, man. I'm all in on Lindor, Conforto, and Syndergaard for now. Alonso and McNeil will be coming up. McNeil in a little bit of a different way than Alonso. And then even maybe Dom Smith, you know, see how that works out. They got a lot of guys they're going to have to sign eventually.
Yeah.
I think we had enough. The Dodgers are clearly scared. They dropped a bag on this dude because they were scared. That makes me feel better. But yeah, man, I think that's about it. Fuck you, Rachel Luba. Not because he didn't sign here, but just because you both acted like childish little fucking clowns.
It was the extraness for me.
And nobody wants to do business with people like that. You could be salacious to get popular, Tekashi 6ix9ine, but it dies eventually. Eventually, people stop wanting to watch because it's boring. You think we're gonna want to see the same song and dance a couple years from now? He has an opt out in the third year. Yeah, he better opt in now.
Yeah, right.
He better opt in now, because if I have any idea of what this career is gonna go like from here, shit, the Dodgers gonna be looking to sue him to get out of that one.
You already know.
Let's move it along. I want to get out of here. I'm starving. I didn't get to eat before the pod.
Damn.
I just wanted to touch quickly. I mean, what the fuck? And this is not even like a blame on the Nets or anything. I'm not trying to knock them. I don't think they had anything to do with this. I don't believe. And if they did, oh my God, just go hide in a hole with the Jets somewhere.
What?
Well, what I hear before the game that KD maybe can't play. And he does play for 19 minutes. And while he's sitting on the bench on a timeout, somebody comes and tells him he can no longer play and he has to go. But he played 19 minutes already.
Quarantine the building.
I mean, remember how I was telling you how many times I screamed over how ridiculous it was that you could be sitting there sweating, guarding each other, doing post-up moves, and then you go sit on the bench 10 feet away and you have to sit 6 feet from each other with masks on?
Yep.
He played a half a game.
Yep.
Obviously, everybody's already sick. You might as well let them enjoy the game.
He scored like 24 points, bro. Like, he was balling. He was all over the place.
And then they
lost.
lost.
Touched that rock mad times, bro.
Yeah, sometimes over the summer when he had that hair growing, he looked like he was touching that rock. Yeah, I was wondering what the hell was going on there, but I mean,
yeah,
hey,
that was a shit show of a game, bro. Yeah.
I'm just gonna say, sounded a lot to me like the refs thought he wasn't gonna play the game, and then he did, and then the call came down.
Yep.
The Nets are gonna win if he keeps playing, so we're gonna have to do something about that. Could somebody go over there and tell him he is at risk and needs to be pulled off the court now?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, man. He should have never been out there from the jump, bro.
I would almost guarantee you if somebody were to pull the phone records of all the NBA referees, there was a burner, or if they're stupid, there was an actual mob-tied phone number that phoned into one of those guys, because it's an easy play. You hear a couple hours before that Durant's out tonight.
God, shit.
You call Vinny the leg real quick.
No.
You tell him, yo, we're in. Easy money tonight because KD's not even playing. We could get him still right now while they're the favorites. Oh, awesome. Throw the house. And then the thing comes back. They send the text back. You don't love your kids or what? The guy says, that's it.
So
Get him out of here. I don't give a fuck what happens. Get him out of here.
You get him out of here, or I'm giving him a double T on his next dunk.
Corruption, man.
Yeah, bro.
Corruption, man. All for this COVID shit. All this COVID shit, and Rachel Luba can't even catch it.
Whoa.
What a shame. What a shame. Anyway, only other thing I wanted to mention, obviously, D Rose back to the Knicks.
Nice move.
I liked it at first, and I still like it. Not that I don't like it at first. I just think, like, obviously, like, this is such a fucking cesspool of a place in New York where, like, 75% of it was just abuseful, like, oh, here we go with the Knicks again, like, trading draft picks for old players instead of keeping them like we've said we were going to do. It's like, yo, could you fucking relax? Do you think they traded Derrick Rose because they think he's like Steph Curry coming in to change the culture and but how's IQ going to get any minutes now? I'll tell you how. You let Alfred Payton know that his services are no longer needed. See you later. And who better, frankly, for IQ to learn from than the kid Derrick Rose, bro?
Yeah, 100%.
Like, my man's knees exploded. That does not change how great he was at basketball.
Yeah.
And I still think he's pretty damn serviceable. And
Definitely
I don't think they gave up the farm. Like, relax. It's
Definitely
so miserable, bro.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you live out here in New York, bro. And
You know, that's the thing, man. That's the misery of all this shit, you know?
Yeah, bro.
It's like, as a Met fan, a Knicks fan, no matter what they do, even when they take a step in the positive direction, everybody's got to be a cocksucker. Everybody's got to be a Debbie Downer. Everybody's got to look at it as the worst possible situation. I'm just sick of it, man. Shut the fuck up. Shut up.
It's a coping mechanism, bro, for, what's to come.
Yeah. Protect yourself from, getting hurt, I guess, by just stepping in front of it. Well,
yeah.
You know what? Perfect transition. I've decided to protect myself. I will no longer be gambling or giving. I will give picks that are strictly meant for our pick contest.
Yeah.
Of which there will be a championship belt purchased for the winner at the end of the year.
I haven't forgotten.
No, that's happening. I don't care. It's happening 100%. I will no longer be giving gambling advice. It hurt me in the stomach all of Sunday when I had woken up saying, I knew that I had lost a parlay because Alistair Overeem is a washed up old juice head loser. And I decided that despite picking the Chiefs with the pick last week, was convinced Tom Brady was going to pull off a miracle and just do it, win the Super Bowl. And I lost the over, so that was miserable. And it just told me, man, I've been so into this Bitcoin shit.
Yeah.
It's like, if I want to gamble next time, I'm going to throw, I swear, like I literally said this to myself Sunday night. Next time I want to gamble, I'm going to throw $100 on Bitcoin again. And I do that all the time anyway, but just as a compensation. And then I literally sat there and watched as on Monday night, my very, very minimal Bitcoin account earned $250 in a matter of like 2 hours. And I said to myself, wow, yo, they have been lying to us forever. I have been crying to anyone who would listen for a month. Okay. And that's late. There was a time when this shit was 6 cents. There was a time when it was $1. But your boy here is one of the most skeptical people going in the world, especially when it comes to the government or anything that has to do with money and the power that comes with it. Man, I was late, but I was in at 28,000.
Yeah.
I was on your phone at 28,000. I was on other friends' phones at 28,000. I literally checked it before I hit record on this podcast just to be sure exactly what it would be. It might have changed in the last 7 hours that we've been doing this, but it was 47,000. It's almost double in a month. Yep. Since 1 week ago today, it was 33,000. A 14K jump.
Nice.
Every dollar I have that is disposable going forward is going into it. It is going to continue to skyrocket. Elon Musk, I saw you. I saw what you did. I don't know if everybody else is saying it, but I saw what you did. My man had put Bitcoin up in his Twitter bio a couple weeks ago. He jumped the stock from 28 to 35. Then all of a sudden, randomly, the other day, he pulled it off.
Yeah.
And he starts going Dogecoin heavy. Motherfucker makes me go in and buy $150 worth of Dogecoin even. Because I can't be, because it's only because at the time it's like 6 cents.
Yeah, right.
And it just keeps sticking in my head. I'm like, it's never. Trust me. If it gets to the dollar, that would be the most amazing achievement. And trust me, these people, I believe, will finally be burnt out once it gets to $1.
Yeah.
But who knows, right? And I just can't be the guy who doesn't have it. So I go in, I pay $150. I got fucking 1,600 shares of Doge. This motherfucker purchases $1.5 billion of Bitcoin the next day. Yeah. Suckered all of us. So many people shifted the available funds that they had to Doge just by what he tweeted, and then proceeds to announce, which I believe was your boy's main fucking point. Eventually, it will become the currency that is allowed to be used in stores. And my God, when it does, watch how much that shit goes up.
Yeah.
So not only did my man swoop the whole market into dropping the price for the day he knew he was coming with a $1.5 billion sale, but he also announced that Tesla is in the process of beginning to allow Bitcoin for purchase of Teslas.
Yep.
How about that? He's got so much control over it that, I mean, unless the SEC kicks his door in and arrests him at some point for all this,
Damn.
if he just does that, it creates the domino effect. You know what? I won't be as rich as him. But when that happens, I'm going to be nice. I'm going to be nice. I watched it, bro. I watched it. Literally. How about this? I had like a certain amount of my Bitcoin, right? And when this clown starts talking about Doge, I literally take 300 and move it into Doge. But my Bitcoin's on one app and my Doge is on another because the original app I started to buy Bitcoin on doesn't have Doge. So I'm like, oh, great. I had to get another app. So I'm in there and I put 300 over and I watched as Bitcoin just over the 3 hours put my 300 back. I was like, wait, what the fuck is going on? It keeps going up and up and up. And I think I just replenished all my money.
Man, that's a good feeling.
And got to keep the Doge.
That's a good feeling, bro.
Yeah, man. Yo, Bitcoin's rising too much. Nah, I kept $100 in there of Doge just in case.
Yeah, just leave this shit, bro.
You have to, just in case.
You have to, just in case, bro. 4
Just in
years down the
case.
line, you'll be sitting here fucking trying to remember what the fuck the password was because that shit's $2.
Nah, I'd eat the bullet.
I'd eat the bullet.
Oh, man. Whatever. All I know is I haven't been given many good picks, so I hope people haven't been staying with them. But I did give you really the biggest winner since this podcast has started.
Very true.
It's the coin, baby.
Yeah.
Get in and stay strong. Stay strong. It's going to drop back down, but it always goes up in influxes.
Right.
So it's going to hit over 50, I believe. And then it'll drop back down, but it'll be like 42 consistently. Whereas previously it was 35 consistently.
Right.
And then it'll go up to 55 and so on and so forth. But it'll always, you got to sit you got to buy the dips and sit on the raises, man. And don't sell as soon as it goes over 50. You're like, oh, screw this. Be in this for the long run because this shit is going. And I expect invites to all of your private mansions when you get them after this advice. Listen, man, at the end of the day, you got to be in it to win it. Fuck Rachel Luba. Fuck Alistair Overeem. Fuck Bill Belichick. It's just the same shit. Different day, kid. Tampa Bay. That's a good one, man. As always, my brother. Love you, kid.
Love you
on the next one.
Later.
Later.
Peace.